So have you heard of the game called Monster Hunter World? I hadn't heard of it for a long time, but until a friend actually got me to play it, I gotta say this game is definitely worth your time. So join me in this video where I'll tell you my experiences playing this game for the very first time and why I think this game is definitely worth checking it out. One of the first things I do want to say that this game is available on the Xbox Game Pass. So if you do have the Xbox Game Pass, I definitely recommend you go ahead and playing this game. It's basically already covered price-wise if you have the Game Pass. And again, it's definitely worth playing it, and I'm about to tell you why I think so. Before we get started, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button. It would really help out the channel. I really enjoy to talk about video games, have discussions about what's going on in our gaming world, playing current and older titles, and also have a small segment that I'm trying to work on where I do gaming news in just 2 minutes for those people that don't have that much time to watch longer videos. And if that sounds something you will be interested in, it only takes one click, and welcome to the channel. But alright, back to talking about Monster Hunter World. So this game was introduced to me by a fellow YouTuber going by the name of God's Chosen One Gaming. This game is an RPG kind of game where the premise is, of course the name says it, to hunt monsters. And though the game isn't really focused on a single player campaign kind of mode, the campaign just kind of shows you what you have to do. It's more of a really extended tutorial. The story basically guides you to the monsters, and that's the premise that the story provides for you. But the monsters, let me tell you about the monsters. That is the big premise of this game. Hunting these monsters, it's amazing. It's wonderful. All the monsters are different. They have different attacks, different weaknesses, and your job as a hunter is to go ahead and take them on and take them down. Of course, a good RPG game requires you to have different sets of gears, different armor, different weapons. And where do you get these weapons from and this gear from? Of course, from the monsters that you killed. And that's what gives the armors a such unique look, that whenever you see your character, you see that armor, that you remember fighting that monster in order to acquire that armor. Same thing goes for weapons. You have different weapons made from the different materials of the monsters that you killed, and even some with different perks. If you kill a monster that has poisonous kind of attacks or thunder kind of attacks, you can craft your weapons to have those same perks when you're fighting different monsters. Some have weaknesses to certain attacks than others. The gameplay is nothing out of the ordinary. It feels like a slash and dash kind of game at times, and it might seem a little repetitive for the attacks, but once you get the hang of it, you realize that there's other attacks you can do, like mounting or setting traps for them. And your experience as a hunter really comes from the gameplay and how you learn what you learn from each monster. The dialogue is a bit limited. Your character does not talk, and the NPCs that do talk don't say their whole paragraph or their whole dialogue. They'll just say the beginning of it. They'll get your attention, like, hey there, or we need to do this, and then you have to read the rest. But the music in the game is wonderful. It does go along with what you're doing in the game. If you're exploring, you'll have a low kind of music, and it's just kind of going along with the environment. And when you get into a combat, you get a more fast-paced kind of music, and it really puts you in the mood to fight the monsters. And you get to choose how you want to fight these monsters. There's many different types of weapons you can use. There's short swords, there's sword and shield, there's lances. To be honest, I just started playing this game, so I don't even know all of them, but there's definitely something there for you to figure out what you like playing. How do you want to approach these monsters? The hunts are also designed that you can take on a monster on your own, and you can do it. That's completely doable. But from my personal experience, I enjoyed going on hunt with other members, other players. Like I mentioned, a friend that introduced me to this game, he's definitely been carrying me on for the tougher monsters, and I've made some friends that we'll go on a hunt and we'll grind out some gear. But by far the best thing about this game is your companion, your Peleco, however you pronounce it. It's a cat that follows you around, that you can give it its own personal gear and its own little weapon. And let me tell you, these cats are just cute as hell, and they can kick some major ass. And I mean, they kick some ass, and they'll look out for you. It's your actual companion. When you eat before you go on a mission or on a hunt, they'll stand right next to you and have the little plate of food too. When you're in the middle of the fight, they'll pull their weight and they'll do everything they can to help you out. Even if you're low on health, they'll try to come up to you and give you some health and look out for you. It's your actual companion. And again, it's this tiny little cat that just kicks major ass compared to these big monsters. I do know this game is kind of old, you know, it came out in the early 2018, so it's not like it's a brand new game that everyone is going to be super excited about, but there is a DLC coming out very soon that I'm looking forward to now. This game does not have loot boxes in it, so I am happy to buy a DLC for this game. Now, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There is some flaws to this game, like in any game. You know, no game can be completely perfect. And with this one, what I think gets most people to stop playing it or not dive into this game fully is the grind. You have to understand that this game revolves around hunting monsters, and a lot of the times it's the same monster. You won't be able to get all the materials that you need for your full armor and your weapon from just one monster that you kill. You have to kill multiple monsters of the same kind in order to get the full set or the weapon that you're looking for or the perk that you're looking for. So you have to keep in mind, this game requires hunting the exact same monster multiple times for better gear, so then later on you can fight a different monster that you'll probably have to grind again and fight it multiple times in order to get a better gear. When you start the game as well, you might feel that you're just doing the exact same attack, and a lot of that comes from the lack of experience. Your character itself doesn't level up or get any special skills as you go on. It's your gear that makes you a better hunter, but it's also your own experience that you get from playing the game and learning how to do the different combos. So again, it might feel like you just hitting the monster with the exact same attack and trying to dodge, but it just requires some skill and some knowledge to get the hang of it and get a better feel for the game. As I mentioned before, the story is nothing to be too crazy about. It's a good introduction to the game. It shows you the ropes and tells you what to do, but do not lean on the story to make it, you know, a wonderful game. The gameplay is what makes the game great. But anyways, this is just a video where I wanted to talk about this great game that I've been enjoying so far. I'd like to thank my friend for introducing me to this game. I will link his description down below. Check his channel out. He definitely kicks some ass in this game. I'm still getting the hang of it, so don't take this as a full review. I just wanted to share that, you know, how I've been feeling about this game and how much I've been enjoying it. As always, my name is Dre, and thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time.